Hey there guys, I saw London Has Fallen today, and you know what? I loved it. I loved Olympus Has Fallen, I love London Has Fallen, they're both great movies, and if that's what you wanted to hear, you can stop now. But for those of you who want to sit through the rest of my review and see why I loved it, then, get ready. First off, I want to say something before I get to the review. I like London Has Fallen and Olympus because they're a franchise, and preferably it's my favorite franchise because Marvel has now become a juggernaut, and so is DC's an obvious juggernaut with BVS. And when you look at things like that, making a movie, you're like, oh, there's another franchise that's about to start. With movies like this, with Olympus Has Fallen and London Has Fallen, they're a franchise that actually is a franchise, to where when each movie comes out, it's the fans are going to go see it. It's either going to make money or not, which means old fans are going to come back, and it's going to make new ones. It's what a franchise is supposed to be, not where each movie's making $1 billion because the company has just created one good movie, and now everybody wants to see all their movies, so they have like 5 franchises off of movies that might not even deserve it. But Olympus Has Fallen has proven that a hard R movie can be a franchise, an original action franchise, and I like that. Now let's get to the review. The acting in this movie is great. Gerard Butler, he's a great actor. Has he been in a lot of great movies? No, but he's always good. And in London Has Fallen, he is good. He's funny, he's extremely intense, and he helps build the plot. And Aaron Eckhart, he's a phenomenal actor. As you saw him in The Dark Knight, My All-American, that guy can act. He's Academy Award worthy. And seeing him as the president is awesome, because we are never going to get an American president as cool as Aaron Eckhart. And it's awesome to see somebody as cool as Aaron Eckhart in the president's seat, because it's fun to imagine. And also, he's a cool character. His character is sympathetic, and you like him. Gerard Butler's character is awesome, and you love to see him stab people to death. It's like a modern Die Hard franchise, and they have great chemistry between the characters. Him and the president, they have great chemistry, and that helps build the plot. Now there are side characters like Morgan Freeman and Jackie Earle Haley who also do a great job. They help in building intensity for scenes when they're in them. They help magnify events, and it's just well done. And now to the plot. The plot of this movie is cliche. That's what I'm going to say. Is it perfect? No. It takes advantage of the Middle Eastern crisis, and that's a kind of good and bad thing. Is it original to take the Middle Eastern terrorist crisis? No. Do they use it well? Yes. The first movie was pumped full of stuff Americans loved. As an American, you sympathized for the heroes, hated the villains. In this movie, you like the heroes, hate the villains. I mean, you couldn't hate the villains more than they do in this movie. They're just awful people. And then they try to interject something about how the U.S. shouldn't be over there, and how us being over there inadvertently causes the deaths of innocents. And I get how they're trying to reach out to more people than just the Americans think everything is American is right. So good for them to try and reach out to everybody, but it was kind of inconsistent. It did help. It was a main key point in the plot, but they didn't focus on it enough. But back to the point, the plot is action-packed. I mean, when this movie is slow, it's slow getting to the action, but when the action starts, it's intense, it's awesome. Gerard Butler he's just awesome. He's like John McClane from Die Hard. That's what I see him as, a modern action icon, because he just elevates every scene. A car chase. The car chases are awesome. There's an action sequence in the end where it's not cutscenes, it's just one continuous, it's a camera, like Birdman. There's never a cutscene. They just follow Gerard Butler as he makes his way up the street and just takes out all these guys. It's like Call of Duty, but with really, really well done cinematography and explosions. And also, with Gerard Butler and Aaron Eckhart in the front seat, you have to sympathize for them, because this isn't like the first movie where it's obvious who's going to live and who's going to die. This movie kills a main character at almost the beginning, so you're left throughout the whole film wondering, is this the film where they kill the president to where they set up for a sequel, or kill Gerard Butler to end on a good note? Who knows? I'm not going to spoil it. But I will say that the action sequences in this movie, they're the best part. And I guess that's a good and bad thing. Bad thing is, you know, if the action sequences are the best part, that means that the acting doesn't have a lot going for it. The acting's great, but it's not like I'm going to London Has Fallen to see the dramatic and Academy Award performances of Aaron Eckhart and Gerard Butler. No, I'm going there to see the top-notch action sequences that aren't held back like all the rest are. And by that I mean like Avengers and Ghostbusters and all these blockbusters coming out are PG-13. London Has Fallen is probably the only R blockbuster in 2016. That means that studios aren't going to give us a hard R movie with blood splattering, knives slowly cutting, and brutal violence in a blockbuster for the rest of 2016. So yeah, I enjoyed London Has Fallen. It's fun to see a movie not hold back on the violence, not hold back on the humor, not hold back on the characters. This movie is fun. It was fun to watch. It's nothing special, but I liked it. If it got a cult following and became a cult classic like the original, I'd like it. I will say it's not as good as the original, but I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. Like and subscribe. And also comment below on what you thought of London Has Fallen.